hello. I'm very early. I'm just going to get sorted with some stuff that I've brought down. So I'll let you just sit there and have a look at them. Sorry. I'm trying to find out what I'm going to do. I have got an idea what I'm going to do. It's sort of a culmination of everything. I hope everybody's all right. I woke up this morning to, oh my word, this absolute joke. Well, it's not a joke. Sorry, that's the wrong word. This was absolutely sickening to where people I know, people I care about, people I love, being talked about and talking like this. About take a minute, think about other people. Take a minute. I'm just horrified by it because I know these people perhaps in another situation, in another time, in another place with a bit of hindsight, wouldn't be doing this. All these hated words. There's too much hatred going on in the world. We don't need any more. So anyway, yeah, and I know I've clashed with Highlight Crafts as well because they've suddenly done one at 12, which has peed me off a bit because everyone's going to go and see theirs. But I love them and we can share. I'm joking, it don't matter. We do what we do. So I'm looking at the last tag. Sorry, my camera's all over the place and I'm trying to get you near and far. Hi, Linda. Hi, Morak. Hi, Jenny. Hello, lovely people. So I thought I'd do a culmination of all of them. And I've got the, the painted one as well, which is in amongst all this rubbish here. So, yeah, I thought I'd do that. So I'm going to get myself sorted. Just wanted to say hello. But I'm a bit on the ball today, aren't I? Yeah, we used to say you wet the bed. So rather than mess about cutting stuff at the moment, I'm just going to get myself a little square. And I've got some circle punches. I've got the paper here. I have got that ready. So I like to give myself a little bit of a square sort of count. I love squares because I just love them. So here we go. Oh, for God's sake, where's the ants? Right, so I'm just going to go in. I'll go in front corner so I know it's right. You might, I'm a bit off screen here, but I will survive. Oh. Right, let's measure this. Let's measure it. Oh my. It is 21 centimetres. Oh, for God, get off! Right, 21 centimetres. So it's going to be a bit inside. So what I'll do is I'll drop it in a little bit more. So just dropping in that edge there. Dropping in that edge. I don't even know why I'm blooming doing this. I never measure, do I? I never measure. Hello, Michelle. Karen won't be here. She'll be too busy watching. Oh, Emma, how are you, sweetheart? Karen will be watching highlights. So I'm just measuring that bit. Oh, hi, Samantha. I hope she's here. It doesn't matter anyway if people are here or not. You can always watch it later, but we're going to need some stuff to watch, aren't we? We took it all for granted, you know. And I remember when I used to watch Create and Craft 24/7, and even if I didn't watch it, I had it on in background. And for some reason, things started to change. You could see that it was getting different, and for that reason, I decided that I was going to be opting out for a little bit, and I'm glad I did. But Samantha, hello, darling. I'm glad I did, but hey, you know what I mean. It just wasn't for me, so I could be doing with all the crap. So I'm not saying that it was one person or anybody. It just didn't feel right. So I didn't want to go any further with it. Okay, so I've got my square, okay, like this, and I could sort of go one more in, which might be nice, yeah. And then I can have an overhang and blow it. Let's go get the big guns out. Look at this, spoiling myself, rumming it, just bringing it down a bit so we can see. So whenever, I hope some of you are at the Highlight Festival next week, because I think you may have me. No, is that two? Because that looks a bit, right, that looks a bit iffy to me. Oh, well, would you believe it? There's two there. That wouldn't have been right, would it? I'd have been all upside down around the corner with that one. And I'd have been blaming myself. Right, get away. Get away. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm putting two lines down to get a square with an edge. So I've got, you can do this with different sizes. I don't measure much. Those people who have visited me that does not look square. People who will know that anything you do with me is not measured. Right, that don't look square. So why does that not look square? That's 13. It's 30. Well, it is. Right. I don't think we're going to get more because people are watching. Never mind. Never mind. So I hope over the next few days people are going to get back into the swing of creating and not being so full on about everything else. So I've got that. I've got this paper and I've got this paper and I use this a lot, as you know. I love it. But I'm going to just show you some ways to create this paper, this washi paper, okay? I'm going to use crappy paper. I don't mean that the paper's crappy, I just mean it's crappy look. I've used it for other things. So I'm going to put that to one side and I've got some pens here. And they're also, you can use any sort of pens. I'm just grabbing the magic, no, they're not magic markers at all. These are markers that have got a good head on them, you know, like thin and fat. And different whips. That's what I meant to say, not thin and fat heads. But I know you know. I know you know. I know you know. And you could use anything. I've got them all here. I wish I would. Like I said, I wish I weren't organised. So they're not in there. I had a big pen. There it is. No, it isn't. No, that's not it either. I had a big pen. It belonged to Tonic, and it was a good one. Anyway, can't use it because it's not here. You can use all sorts. You can use thin lines, thick lines, embossing lines, pen lines without any ink. But I'll just show you this one first. Okay, so this one's got a sort of thin end, and a fat end. Exactly. So the fat end is, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to go, it's a very fat, it is a fat end as well. So this, I'll try it this way. So this might be a bit too much for you, but you're just going to go like that. So we've got all these horrible sort of wiggly lines. Some people don't like these lines, I love them. Then some finer ones. There, like that. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there because you can sort of get the idea. And then I'm going to get excuse me a minute. Excuse me, what? You'll have to excuse that noise, I am so sorry. I didn't eat very much last night, so it's repaying on me now. Well, I'm not repaying, I'm paying. So I've got this. I'm going to use, just to confuse it a little bit, I'm going to use a fine drawing pen. Right? And I'm just going to go put a couple next to each other. Like that. And then I'm going to go think of these wiggly lines as swear words. Put swears on if you want. If that is how you are feeling, get some offs in here and flips and flops off it. So like that. So let me just pull it a bit closer. Can you see? Like that. We've got like thin and thick lines. Then what I'm going to do is use perhaps a thingy knife, not knife. No, we don't want to use a knife, but you could scratch it away. But you know, you could use this one is like a different colour, just to give it a highlight. So with Macintosh, I would use perhaps a red, and I'd just go, they're all running out now. Just a flash of colour, maybe a dot here, there, but be very sparing with these because you overdo it and it becomes a pixie, right, like that. Okay, so let's chop it down and show you what it looks like. Now what I would do is this first. I would, if I know I'm going to use a full sheet, I would do this. This is worth it in the end. I would put tape on the back, ready, like that. And then I know I'm not going to mess about. This is the back I used as one, and it looks really cool. So I'm not going to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to do it. So not showing you. Yeah. So I've got a bit left. So now what I'm going to do is I'm not showing you yet, right? So now I've got this pen. I'm using the other end, okay? And I'm just going to go really simple. So what I'll do is this always helps me is to spread it out. Even when I'm doing my embroidery, I spread the stuff out So I'm not just concentrating because I end up, it's a bit like, oh, I know I use this a lot, your mum's fringe, you know, all at one end. So I am just going to put in and if you've got one of these pens and you can do the embossing with them, they're brilliant. So now what I'm going to do is get another pen like I did before. Exactly. We had a bit of a few people watching then and they've all disappeared. Probably saw what I was doing and thought, that's crap. And you can add, I love using different line. I always remember someone on the telly saying you didn't need different size pens, and I could have lynched him. Because you do, you know, it's like saying you just need one saw for everything or one screwdriver. No, you don't. You need different sorts of screwdrivers and different sorts of saws for different projects and different things. You don't, one size doesn't fit all, but I always remember that because they was actually selling one size pens and I was like, that's wrong. Anyway, so the reason you use different pens is to get different effects. You know, you sort of trying to create depth and texture that looks 3D but on a 2D plane. You know, that sounds ridiculous, but that's what you're doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop that little bit off. So we've got a few extra, and then I'm going to chop them. You should really start with this thick paper in the middle, because otherwise it'll bunch up, you know, like my socks used to do. Punch up round the ankles. It used to annoy me, that. You know, you'd be there like, what was that woman? She used to, Nora Batty. That was it. So if you can get them quite thin, get them thin. Right. Okay. So now let's have a quick look at this rubbish. You ready? Ready? Are you ready? Steady. Right. I'll put something bit right behind it, just for contrast. Did more than that. Where's the others gone? Oh, there they are. Whoa, how cool are these? Now, what you can do is if you feel that you need it, you add more now. But because you've not done it after, what you're getting is a sense of movement. You're getting a sense of movement within, you know, if you wanted to bring them together like that, so that you've got, you know, I don't know where it fits now, but it'd be like, it'd be all right forever trying to make them fit. That might fit there. No, it don't. But do you know what I mean? Make it into a puzzle. And then you've got one that's got a bit of both. But how cool are them? Do you like him? Angela! But can you see how, if I wanted to now, I could add a few more. And at the time, it might have looked too much, but I've got my little, I quite like this one with the wibbly lines. So what I might do is, while I've got one, well, I like that one as well, I'm just going to go So why am I doing this? For what reason? For this. So here's my, so we've made masking tape. well, masking tape, is it? Whatever it's called. So can you see how it's adding interest? And it could be three-dimensional. Get it? So, okay. Now, do you remember? This was very successful. We've got a square, but I'm using oblongs. And there's a reason I'm using oblongs, is because although it's not square, it's angular. And I'm going to go in with this. Now, I'm going to go on and off very well. I'm hoping it was light, but that's not happened, has it? Now, this is the texture of the paper, so, and it's a cruddy one. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is get my little, both of them, that's Studio Light. That's not their product. I'm not saying that's cruddy. What I'm saying is I've used the thingy that much, the sponge, it's gone cruddy. Certainly not there, because I really like their foam stuff and these. So I'm never going to diss them if I like them. No, well, if the products are good, the products are good, whether you like them or not. It's like if, you know, I'm a City fan. It's like if there's a really good shot from a United fan on the telly, you have to say, oh, that was a good save or whatever, regardless of. And that's what it's about. It's about right tools, right purpose. So I quite like that. I'm going to go in with something a little bit lighter now, because although we won't see much of it, it made a really interesting background when we was doing it the other day. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing an amalgamation of everything that we did all in one and see what we get. So we've got the light and the dark-ish. Okay. Now, I did have this, which I love, and I've got some of my old stamps as well, and I really like these stamps, so why not use them? No, I don't know if this will stick, but I don't care. Come in. So it's like a perfect. It's a stitched circle. So three, and then I've got this mass. I've got loads of them, but they've fallen off, and now I've lost them, and it's really annoying me. Can you see? But I might just do this as a bit of a ghosty one. Perfect. Now, I've not spent any time doing that, because that's, as I said, this is the focus of this. This is the background. But you can easily do them, and I'll show you how to do them. Where's my lid gone? There it is, right in front of me. I'll show you how to do them. It's really easy. We'll get our bit of paper that we're messing about on. We've done our thingies on this, and we just get the line we want. You can use a compass. Whoa, that's not. Look at that. Can't go anywhere with that. Get a compass, draw around your favourite thing, whatever you want. Compass is easier because you can get different circles like that. So I'm just going to do two for you. Okay. Karen! Oh, I thought you was going to be on the other highlight. I'm there, said Karen won't be there. She's always on highlight now. Only joking though, but yeah, I'm so happy that you've enjoyed that, because they are great. And the good thing is they're going to continue on the TV as well. Karen, I think I'm there on the Sunday, so hopefully I'll see you there. Right, so Karen, I've done that. What we're doing is we're doing all the things that we've done together. So get a punch. Here's another way. Do one line and then do another line, my good old wibble wobble, and it's a, there we go. So if you haven't got the stamps, it's quite easy to do. Right, okay, so that's that there, right? Now we could have a couple. I'm just thinking that might be a bit big. All right, so I'm just going to try it to see. If it is, it is. Oh, maybe that was Freudian. Right, I have got smaller ones, but I'll loan these out. I got one back from the lovely Elaine, but I can't find others. So we've got that one, which very much might look there. Oh, my hands are filthy. And I should have a little one. There we go. Do you know what? You get a good punch, it'll last forever. Some of these cheaper ones, 2 clicks out of a piece of card and that's it, don't work. And I thought, just to echo the doofer, which is in the background, it's a technical term, doofer. I don't know. Oh, it will. So I'll do a couple actually, because I know a great Christmas card for you. Right, so this is backed. Let me explain what I've done. So I've got backed sticky tape with music score, round circles like we could do, some lines. We've got a background. I've got a massive one which might be too big. So it, to me, it's one step in from that, isn't it? And I can't find that. I can't find that one, but I will now go for it. So I quite like the idea of my own rose on it. So it's got to be a bit bigger than that, yeah. So let's see how big this is. That's a good size. And there's a good size. Do another one a little bit smaller. There. Oh, I love Amsterdam, Anne-Marie. I love Amsterdam. I've been a few times. Especially the dodgy streets. Anne-Marie's my sister-in-law. I'm very lucky to have family like my brother and sister-in-law and nephews. I really am. And the great ones. I've got Orla and Connor. So I'm going to cut these out as best I can. Use your die cutters, guys. Don't use. I know. I'm not doing this on here. I'm going to cut them out later. Right. So we've got that. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We've got these that again might work. I think they would work inside these as little ones. Let me just show you what I mean. Maybe not today, but to show you what I mean. Because I'm very much aware that it's a background today, but you can see there, that looks super cool. And then if we put some of our lines through. Now this can be divided up into a massive card, or one card, 4, one piece and 4 doofers. We've got that as well. So if you don't like what you've done here, then if you don't like these, then don't use them. Okay, so I'm going to do a simple rose now. Okay, so don't forget we've got these as well, which again, oh, that's weeny. Look on that, it's cool, isn't it? So I'm gonna get these now. I've got a little bit of water. I'm using one of my favourites, which is Royal Talent. I love all the paints I've ever done. I can never get away from the fact that if I've had them on the TV, I've endorsed them only because I love them. There's a couple that at first I wasn't sure of, but then I really did get into them. And there's a couple that are not being very fair to me, but as regarding people and things, I love my studio light stuff as well, and my Royal Talents. They're in business, that's what happens. So I'm going to look at my roses. So if you remember, let's do a rose, and it's a simple eyelid, if you can call it an eyelid, triangular. I'm not too sure whether I like that, but we could change it. So here we'll do another one. I had an MOT yesterday. Hey, first time ever, look at that. Weenie. She took miles of blood. Well, not miles, but quite a bit. She's very good at what she did. Jibs and jabs and MOT time. Very sore today, but very grateful for all that they do. I really am. Right, I'm just going to go wibbly wobbly here. Very grateful. I think I'm getting grip of this. Yeah, so we've got so if we was to do the big one, yeah, I'm hoping my friends and loved ones are all right after what's going on, because they are family, very much family, and I do adore them. So here we've got these, and just before I go into action here, I've got a black and an indigo, and I'm going to be very I love this palette. This one's called Muted, and it's very easy to use, very easy on the eye as well. I'm just going to run it in these circles. Oh, just to let you know, this is the Fabriano cut down. So all I'm doing is the smaller ones. And it's got, oh no, that's pink. It's got the archival underneath, so I'm hoping that will give it, a bit of texture as well. So we've got that. I might take that off with my, don't sell anyone. Quite like that. No, right. And if you wanted to, you could add pink or anything you wanted in that. You're just giving it a bit of colour for now. So now while that's drying, let's get these out. And the best way I found for these are water first, only where you want it, So, I keep forgetting the camera's here. Just there. Drop it in at that end and clean it off. There we go. Don't matter if it bleeds. I'm using different sorts of pinks and whatevers. So pinks and purples just to get a bit of a blend. You don't have to. I'm allowing them to bleed right at the very end because I quite like the idea of it bleeding. So I'm just going to add a few bits here. I might not use these if I choose to go for something a little bit lighter. I mean, I'm going to pick up that and put it in there. Pick up that and put it in here. I'm not going to be too fussy actually because I don't want to be. And it never works if I'm fussy, as you've all gathered. It only works for me if I just throw it at it. Apart from my embroidery, which doing the couture stuff at the moment and previously, I've got to go back to being neat and precise. And I'm loving it actually. I really am loving it, believe it or not. Normally I'd be like, no, that'll do. But I love the fact that it won't do. That does not make sense, I know. But I'm loving the fact that there's guidelines and everything. Because that's how I learn, with guidelines. It's like having rules, then breaking them. But Picasso did the same thing. I'm not saying I'm a Picasso, but he said it took him 5 years to learn to draw and then the rest of his life to forget. Because knowing the rules, then you can sort of pop your own style onto it. I was watching last night, Erica, that's my nephew's wife. I don't know what niece-in-law. And she's a beautiful soul. She rescues dogs, well, animals, and she's got these puppies. And my big, strapping, 6 foot odd middle nephew. Honestly, anybody would think he'd been shot by a sniper. This little tiny piddly little pup bit his toe. And honestly, you seriously would have thought he'd been shot by a sniper. It was, screaming like that. Like laughing my head off. And he's like, tried to justify the scream by saying it bit him. But I was just laughing because, I know Eric is going like laughing at, but I remember them tiny teeth. Oh, they were killers. They really were killers. Them little needles. They were like bloody needles, weren't they? Oh, get one of them in your foot. You'd know about it. In your big toe or something, they'd bite. They'd never go for it. They'd always go for the most painful bit, wouldn't they? So I've got this. I might, just to bring in a little bit of depth, go for, I'm thinking, could it work with these? I had an idea, right, the other day, I had an idea that if I did this, yeah, might work. Right, so if I get a couple of them, I'll do one, and if it looks naff, it looks naff. I've got that one there. So I'm going to just get my pen. like that. Do a line like a big, yep, and then go like that. Okay, let's see. Now, I've got no idea whether this is going to look absolutely pathetic or all right. So I'm just doing a couple on this spare bit here. So I'm going to go back to my brights and I'm going to use two colours. I'm going to use like that and a bit of the green emerald and a bit of that because it's got to be done. So we've got a bit of that, a bit of that, and a bit of this, a bit of the other, a bit of water. Right. I've got to make sure that I've done the edges, yeah. Ooh, being attacked by a leaf. So don't try and blend them too much. So I've got another one there if I want to use it, but if not, why not? So, okay. Now I can go back to these. So what I'm doing is, if you've got pencils, go back with your pencils. If you wish, go back into it with your pencils. If you haven't got the pencils, then don't worry because you really don't have to have them. It's just that if we've got them, let's get them used. So going in, it looks awful, doesn't it? I agree. I'm trying my best to keep the depth away from, the depth of the corners away from each other so that I'm not over, like it's dark at one end, light at the other, and trying to keep it the dark away from each other so that I've got, a little bit. Right, so now what I do? Water, bring it down. Clean water. Why do I put my water pot all the way over there? It makes me laugh at. It's like having to go to the kitchen every time I want to clean my brush. All the way over there. What's the point in that? Can you see how I'm just cleaning, water in, cleaning, drying, and I'm just bringing the depth of colour to the very edges. Oh, thanks, Sam. How's the house going now? Yeah, but I'm only using them, Emma, because they're there. I've got die cuts that do the same thing. So yeah, I'm with you on that. If I could get to my die cuts, and this is what is amazing with me. I've got this stuff, all these products that I'm getting rid of. Yeah, getting rid of them. Got to do it. The old man says, and I've got about 10 tools that do the same thing. So I have to ask myself which tool is the best tool for the job. I'm just laughing because the implications of that are quite funny. Which is my best tool? Say no more. Anyway, that gentleman, they've not found him yet. And word is that when I was having my MOT yesterday, the sister says to me that they were worried about dementia. Oh, so, oh dear. Right, when you're doing these, it's okay to just go off the edge, and I'll tell you why. Then you're not only the edge, you don't, you know, but you don't have to keep to the edge here, only the edge on the inside. And don't forget, watercolour dries 2 shades lighter. And if you've followed me for a while, you know there's lots of videos and art ones, not dodgy ones. Oh, it's out, I'm doing it on my thing. Get off, silly cow. Right. So I don't want the white bit showing. That isn't right. So leave that to dry. Oh, they're nice. Like that. Got me doofers. They might be a bit small. Got my lines. Right, okay, let's get ready to rumble. Right, let's see. Will these work? Don't know if they will. If they don't, I've not lost anything ever. Why does that one look right? What have I done here? Oh, why is that not right? We're not chopped a bit out of it. Chop it. There we go. Get off. Right. That one and that one. That one's got a knobble off. That one's got a knobble off. These are. I want to stop them bleeding now by cutting them. Then the water will stay on that rose and not continue to bleed into the others or into the other paper. It'll sort of maintain the pigment colour as well. So I am just, as always, there we go. So I've done different sizes. Well, I just like to do different sizes. You don't have to do that. And I'm, bringing everything that we've done in the last few weeks on Macintosh. Bringing it all to fruition into one piece. So leaves, I've got my blobs and my pieces. So let's go. So what I'm going to do is see where I want these. So let me just have a look. Maybe we'll do one corner and where's the knobble bit there? So if I do that, it looks like a lily pad. No, that one and that one and that one. There we go. So you can push the top together, so you've got that there, which I think is quite nice. And then you've got the gap at the bottom. Yeah. So we've got that. And we've got our other coordinating bits. So now we're going to build a framework, okay? And the framework's where I put in some lines in the back and then these go on, because these are the very last thing, unless I decide that I'm going to put some on anyway. So I'm going to look for my best ones. That's got shavings, so I want some fine ones. I won't be using them all, only be using little bits. So now I shortlisted them. Take that out, it's a bit thick. I like them. So I'm going to just see what they look like next to each other. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Oh, I hope he's all right, your grandson. Right, so what I'm going to do is put these together. Putting 3 together, and then I can just pop them on. Like that. So pop them on. Get away, get away. It's stuck all over my fingers. Get off. Right, so I would always look at where the lines are and look what should be on top of whatever, and then I'm just going to pop them round so that they meet nicely there. I need a bit of glue on that, but so we've got that where we've got these lines. And we're just looking for, can it helicopter? I don't think that'll work, so I won't put that on. I'm just looking to see whether I need to put in. See, I don't want to be covering everything. I could have put that under the window. No, I'll leave that for what we're doing next. And then I might just do that. Yeah. No, that's got to go there. That's a must. Maybe even a so I'm just putting these willy-nilly. That needs a bit more. Does it? Yeah, needs a bit more. So we've got a couple of these, and I'll put one there because even if I put the flowers there, it really doesn't matter because well, it don't. Right, so we've got that. Just thinking now, do we need a little bit of? Yeah, I reckon we need a bit of colour. So I've got this double-sided tape, and I'm going to run it on the inside there. You know, I might not see all of it, but who cares? And then maybe don't like that. Ta-ta! There's no way it says that you have to sing when you're doing it, but it does help. So chop that off there and bring it in there. So we've got 3 areas covered. There we go. And what I'm using next is from Highlight Crafts. So you can use embossing powder, anything you want for this. but I've chosen to use pink foil. Pink foil. So I'm just going to get my knife and I'm going to go for just where I don't need it, because I don't want to be sticking it on everywhere and wasting it. I just want it where I want it. So everybody's got double-sided tape of different, you know, sizes. So just use what's best fit for you. Okay. Now, if you wanted, some of the edges in this aren't dark enough, you can always put a mark around the edge. So here we go. 2 hours later. That's that one. Okay, so that's one. I've chosen pink because of the flowers. You don't have to. It could be black, it could be white, it could be anything. This is the vein of my life. The bane, is it, or vein, or whatever it is. It's that annoying bit. Right. I know I've got a thing here. I know everyone's shouting, use your pen, use your scissors. Yeah, I know. It's like telling someone to pack in smoking and drinking. It's all right you saying it, but until the person wants to do it, you can just sack off. Because it don't matter what you think and say. They've got to want to do it, haven't they? So I'm using the foil, which is an amazing product by Highlight Crafts. And I can use the pen as well. So we've got this now, which has got that pink on it. Okay. So what we can do now is start to think, is that more or less done? Do I need to highlight some? And I think I do. So anything that looks a bit lost like that, stick it to me. Just go in with a pen. And see. You know, just go in with your pen. And I'm going to go all the way around as much as I can. Or as much as I want to, should I say. Now, when I'm doing this, I always push my pen too much and then it goes wibbly. So my advice is do it lightly. So it just stays within the shape and not goes off pieced. Not that it matters, but it's just that if you want it to do that, great. Oh, I had a big spider come and sit by me on my pillow last night. Thought it was the light playing up. Anyway, I tried to get rid of the bed out, moved it, and it only followed me to the bathroom. Yeah. And I was there like, right, get out. So I had to, and I was trying my best to get it out. And I squidged it by accident, trying to get it out with my glass. I felt really bad, but there's not a lot I could do at the time. I was trying to squidge it, pick it up, but my fingers got in the way and I squidged it and I feel terrible, but you know. So I've got that sort of thing. But it's all too messy for me. So rather than do this now and do it willy-nilly in pig's ear, I'm just going to chop, chop. Anything that doesn't belong there, chop it off, chop, chop. Now I might have to do a bit more chopping afterwards, but that's okay. That's all right. Yeah, if you've heard the news that we've been planning for a while now that, you know, Funky Fossil are coming up to the monastery and that I'm joining them as well. I'm not leaving highlights. I'm just spreading my wings a bit. I'm going to be doing different things for different people, you know. Because you have to think what suits one doesn't always suit the other. So you have to cut your cloth accordingly, don't you? So let's see now what this looks like. So don't waste your tape. And if you want to, hang on, which is first? Oh, got a bit of that. Take it off. If you want to, you can do another. I might do it and just show you, and then that way I'm not confusing everybody. So I'm taking the first layer off like this and just putting that there. And oh wait, what's wrong? What's going on here? Oh, I know. I did that. I changed it a bit, didn't I? Right. So did that. Me being tight, you know. I'm going to keep all this for later. Okay, so it's tidied up. It looks a little bit better now, but I'm just going to, now you can either go in with a frame like that in the middle, or I'm just going to go in with very thin lines here. So I'll start the first one there. It's codswallop, isn't it? It's very codswallop. So changing it up slightly. So I'll make it look like I've done it on purpose. So I'll move this and then do that. And then just one there. Oh, I've not done it on it. Silly woman. There we are. So I'm going to take off these. You can go around these as well if you wish, but I'm not really worried about that. So let's take that off. And then these little gaps, I'll show you what I'm going to do in them. So we've got all that done. So it looks a bit better. Okay. And oh, you're not out of the loop. You can't be out of the loop with us. So I'm going to do that, and I'm just going to do a little zigzag. Little zigzag like that, and then a zigzag on the line, and a zigzag on the line. Get me? So we've got that down. Now let's look. Do we need all these flowers? Is it going to look right? Have I done too many, or do I just want one? If I just want one in the corner like that, or do you want two? Do you want one and then that slipped under there? Come out, wherever you know, wherever you know. You know. Yeah. Right. Green and green. Doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. Right. I think I like that better. Right, so I'm going to put in some lines in this because this is it's not defined enough. I've got to be careful because I don't want it too much. So that fits better. So we've got one there. I don't particularly like these, so I'm going to see if that looks any better. Come out. No, don't like that either. Right. So I don't like it at all. Now you'll get things like this and you're like, why don't I like it? Well, I just don't like it. It's just not floating my boat today. So maybe, well, I know why, because it's not finished. So maybe I don't want to put the roses in. Maybe I should put stick. Oh, that looks nice. That's going in there. Even didn't plan it. Don't matter. Right. So do I want it? Yeah, I like it that way. Oh no, it's upside down. It don't matter, does it? So I'm going to stick that there. Yeah, I like that. And I wonder if a white one will look nice there. Oh, that one even. Nope, don't like that either. So, nope, don't like that. But I like that. I think that's just really adds to it. So, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to do it slightly different. I might do three because I'm going to use three. So I've got three white ones, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different just so it fits in, because at the moment it's not fitting in. Maybe I know what it is. That smells better. It's too much, the pink altogether, you know what I mean? It's just too much, so breaking it down is going to be my best bet. Perfect. That's it. Much better. That looks nice there as well, just fitting it in. Yeah. So that now is much better. I've broken up that line. And if I wanted to, I could do. No, I don't want that one. I'm not wobbly like that. This one. Across them all. That's miles better. That's miles better. Sometimes, oh wait, come back. Sometimes you start with one idea, you think, right, I really like that, and you do the idea, and when it actually does it, it's nothing like you wanted it. And you've got to be able to say, no, I don't like that, and change it. And, you know, and that's how your work grows. That's much better. So we've got, oh, what's happened? Come back, wherever you are. Yeah, there we go. So I'm happy with that. I think it's the overall shape, size, and I think what it might be is this is overpowering. So yeah, that's much better, isn't it? And then I'm just going to do the little dots in the middle, like that. And then I know what it needs. It needs a little bit of shading, right? So I've got my pen, and I'm just going to go wherever it is near a fold. Are you on this? No, you're not. That's good. So just wherever it folds on top, like that, you put a few dots, and what that does is sort of gives the idea of depth, and I'll bring it up to show you. This shows really well on lighter stuff, but it will make a difference on this. Can you see? Oh my goodness, but can you see how it's made the difference there just by adding those dots? Oh, well, thank you so much for being here. We're going to go back to a regular slot, obviously, for my Patreons as well. But yeah, I'm going to ask people to come on again and show us their stuff in the interim. I don't know what's going on with Creating Craft, so it could be any, well, no, your guess is as good as mine, and I'm leaving it there because this wild speculation is driving me nuts. And there's, you know, all my friends are at the end of this, and I think people are forgetting that. So I'm just going to put in a few dots around the other side. Yeah, these are people, and you can't blame one person for a company's doings. And if that person doesn't know or doesn't know all details, then she shouldn't be the target of a witch hunt with other people. I'm not saying she has been, but it starts getting a little bit scary and frightening. Let's all think about how to help people if we can. So there you go. Now, do I like that? That works much better. And then look, maybe there. I think a word as well. A word would look nice. So we put those two together there. like that. I think a word. So maybe a word here, and I think maybe not with the green. Quite like that. And then maybe one over here. Let's chop it anyway. That's it. It smells better. Sometimes you have to try and then you realise, oh, that bit might look good there, or that bit. And it's not always about, like I say, about what you planned. But yeah, I hope people realise that there's a lot of jobs at risk, a lot of people losing money, a lot of this, a lot of that. So let's support the people that are suffering. That's what I think, for what it's worth, which is nothing to some people, but yeah, really do care. And it's really difficult to know what to say. So if it's not nice, don't say it. But that's just my opinion, so it's not worth sweet FA. If you don't know what FA means, Aunt Fanny means. No, I don't like that there, it looks naff. Oh, that's better. That's better. See? See? See, Senora, see. It's a song, isn't it? Now I want a, what do you call it now? Oh, it's not straight, that. Sapodilla. Yeah, now I want a sort of car base now, and a front door. Oh, put it in, you daft sod. Be in front of my journal. Could be anything. Doesn't really matter. If I wanted to break it up into 4, I would sort of do it after it's done, and then put a flower on each one, if that makes sense, because then, you know, it's balanced. So let's have a quick look. Let's have a bit of a look. Oh, right. Let's see where it looks better. Definitely looks better that way. And I think if I was to put just going round just to give it an edge. Now with my pen, let me just check. Now this is to all my friends and members of groups I find more like my family. And this goes out to them. I need a bit of foam, but I think that just sums it up for me. So let's have a quick look. So this goes out to all my friends who are suffering. Anybody who's suffering with anything, with the mental health or anything. Perhaps you need to know that people are here. You need to take time for yourself, and you need to positive on what you think about the positive things. What can you do, and not necessarily what you can't do. Because if you can't do them, what's the point of wasting your energy on it? You need to know about the things you can do so that you can put all your energy into that. That's how I feel about it. Otherwise, you become a very unhappy person, and you're already unhappy. So I'm just going to put in some white dots, she says. Just bring up some colour or some definition, really, not so much colour. And just do it like that. I really like the idea of it. I'm just going to draw, because it needs a bit of a sort of bit of a definition around it. So if you put a line, it's done it. I think that looks much better now where you've got that line. That's it. Yeah, I like that, with that bit of definition around it. Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, you've got to keep going, haven't you? You've got to keep going. You've got to. And remember that if you don't like it, it's not finished. And this is where the finishing bits come. You know, you get your pens and your colours and you sit and you play and you think, oh, really, you know, I'm getting to like it now. And that's what it's about. It's about starting with an idea, but allowing yourself to deviate, to change and develop it. And then that way you're not so fixated with, just going to put a tiny bit of pink there, just to give it a little bit of just a little bit of colour just around that. It's only just to open it up a little bit. Maybe just darken these down a little bit with a bit of a dot. So yeah, I'm very happy with that now. We're going to start a new artist next week, and I will be I will be watching what happens in the group picture-wise, because then I'll see what you all like. But I have got an artist in mind, but I'm not going to tell you until nearer next week. I know what I want to do. I just want to make sure it's what I think you want to do as well. So just going to put in a little bit of that. I've got pink on my finger, you see. You should clean that before you should tape it first. And if I want to put another bit here, and this is all what makes the card. It's not the initial bit. This is the bit. These are the bits that need a rubber here. But can you see how it's building up? Anyway, I'm going to have to go now because I've been mithering you. Yeah. They do add that bit, but they can still be taken away. But just having them in half really don't matter. The smaller you have them, Emma, the less concentrated focus and the more. There you go. Just that tiny bit. Oh, Sue, hello. I can only see people who are on certain groups, so if I haven't seen you and said hello, I do apologise. But I hope you enjoyed that. I blooming did. I'm trying to find out if it is the artist. I wanted to do Monet, and I did want to do Monet, and I thought, would people appreciate Monet because he's not for everybody? But we'll go with it. So the other one's Van Gogh. Van Gogh is really good today. So I don't know what that was then. I've never heard that noise. It's a bit of a weird one. Anyway, we're gonna love you and leave you. So I will be the next one. It probably will be Van Gogh. And it's very beautiful what he does. Although you might not like what the actual thing that he does, his movements and paint and the way he does it texturally and stuff is amazing. You really, And the other one is Jackson Pollock. He does an amazing work throwing paint on, but it's actually when you look at the paint and how it works, you think, oh, that reminds me of. I always remember my revelation was that reminds me of music, and it was called. Didn't know, and it was called music. So yeah, so I will see you next week. Big love. Gonna do that. I'm gonna get on with my stitching. My houses are all drawn and ready to rumble. So yeah, so watch this space, and I hope that everybody's safe and things go right for everybody. Just take care, people. And if you're on your own, you're not really, because you've got us and you've got a fruitcake like me. Who cares? Bye.